Let's see how Forcepoint DSPM supports structured data discovery and classification. Under Administration, we'll click on Data Sources to view and configure connectors for structured as well as unstructured data sources. On the left here, we can see MySQL, Postgres, Oracle, SQL, and DB2 are supported. Let's go into Postgres to see how to connect DSPM to a database. In a very similar way to unstructured data, we set up credentials and specify the host name, port, and database name. Now, we could either save the configuration and close, or we could save it and go straight into setting up a scan. When we go to the Scan Configurations tab, we can specify the configuration for the database we want to scan and select the appropriate credentials. And on the right-hand side, for each configuration, we can see various actions. Let's go ahead and start a scan. Now, let's refresh the page, and the green icon here will let us know that the scan has been completed. Under the Structured Data tab, we'll see the results. Here we see all results for structured data. Let's click into MySQL to see the details such as columns, tables, schemas, and more. Now, in the next widget here, we can see that, for example, 62.5% of regulated data discovered is PII, and we can click for more detail to see things like DLP rule names. This dashboard has a number of different ways of representing the discovered data by regulated data type, by confidentiality, by data attributes, and by hits for detectors that we have configured. And here we can see discovered data over time and click into the graph for more details, including things like associated compliance tags. At the bottom of the page, we can see the database tables that contain PII or PCI, and we can easily jump into views for columns and schemas associated with each table. To dive a little bit deeper, let's select our Postgres tab and click into a specific connector. This will allow us to look at the schema view and see the relationships between the various tables. We can easily see the primary key, foreign key, and all columns for each table. We can also see a classification for the overall table and click into these tables for details on the columns. And hovering over any individual table will highlight its relationship to other tables in the schema. And we can click on any to look deeper into the table details and any associated attributes. Now, we can also use the GQL search bar at the top and use filters to refine our search. In this case, we're looking for PII data, and it will show the tables with PII data, which we can drill into to examine the columns, attributes, and key relationships. All of this has been in the database discovery view, but we can also go into the column search view to see what has been discovered in the same way that we do with unstructured data and see the classification and attribute details for the various columns. And clicking into any entry will give us the full details such as where these records are, what they contain, how sensitive they may be, and what the relationships are. On the far right, we have the actions we can take, such as manually overriding the classification or viewing the table or schema. So, for example, if we find a discrepancy, we can simply change the classification here. As we investigate any concerns, we do have the GQL search bar here at the top to refine the view for what we're looking for, if that's general business classification or confidential or highly confidential attributes. And these views can all be easily exported with the export function shown here for regular reporting and audits. You have the flexibility to fully customize these views, dashboards, and reports as well. Thanks for following along. We look forward to showing you more in our next video.